Hi everyone. I'm just on my last training ride before I join up with about 30 other children's healthcare providers to cycle over 800 kilometres from Great Ormond Street in London all the way up to COP26 in Glasgow as part of an event called Ride for Their Lives. So we're doing this ride to raise awareness of how air pollution and climate change are causing illness and death, especially in children. Air pollution causes obviously asthma, cancer, heart disease. It's also linked to mental illness, diabetes and dementia, and it kills over 7 million people a year, so it's a huge issue. And also by limiting air pollution, it helps solve climate change, as many of the greenhouse gases that cause global warming also create air pollution. And from a personal point of view, I'm doing this because my background is in environmental science, where I've always been focused on planetary health. But since joining the Trust about 18 months ago, I've seen that planetary health and human health go hand in hand. And we need to remember that a climate emergency is also a health emergency. And if we want to be a leader in children's health and provide the best care possible, we need to ensure that our impacts on the planet are as small as possible. Otherwise, we're treating patients, yet at the same time we're contributing towards an unhealthy environment that causes them further harm. So yeah, this ride is going to be absolute killer really. I'm riding around 80 miles a day for 8 days, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to riding with a group of people who have a common goal and ultimately seeing what we can achieve. And it feels good to be physically taking action with the hope that it'll inspire other people, organisations and our leaders to take action as well. But right, anyway, I'm only about halfway home, so I better stop talking and get pedalling really, aren't I? See you a bit. Look, just one little thing I wanted to show before I headed off, and that's my little the bear sticker there to keep me motivated on the hills and when the weather gets a bit wet and grim. Hopefully it doesn't happen too much. So yeah, for me, next stop's London. I'll see you there. Just like that, I'm in London, ready to head off. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're down in Glasgow Square. You can see the climate pods behind me on this side, and then all the poor souls riding over this side. So yeah, we're about to head off on our 800 kilometre ride. Yesterday I made the mistake of saying it was only 700. It's not, it's 800. So yeah, right, I'll get cracking now. See you later. Lunch on day one, just 40 miles in, and luckily
at the COP26
it happens to be at my aunt's house, and so we're all here. Say hi, everyone. Say hi, everyone. Hi. So here we are. We've got tea down there and a table full of cakes over on the other side through there. So yeah, we're ready to go now. Finished day 2, which was Oxford to Birmingham. You can see the wonderful Birmingham skyline out there. 70 miles it was, which was a bit of a push, a bit longer than yesterday. And when we arrived into Birmingham, we did a little mile ride from Birmingham Children's Hospital down to the think tank in Birmingham with some of the young people from the hospital, which was fantastic. It was really nice to do. And when we arrived at the think tank, there was a little mini event, and some people gave speeches, including some of the young people. One of the young girls there gave an amazing, really passionate speech. And it sort of drove home why we're doing this and reinforced it why we're doing it, because when you're sort of cycling 75 miles and your legs are hurting, you sometimes lose focus a little bit of the whole reason we're doing this. It's a very serious reason. It's about the impacts, obviously, of climate change on children's health, and who better to hear that from the children themselves, who are impacted by this. And back to Chesterfield tomorrow, so slowly getting home before I start going in the opposite direction. And yeah, I think it'll be a good test again tomorrow, but looking forward to it. So it's day 3 lunch stop, which again is a very fortunate lunch stop because it happens to be at my sister's house, where once again we've got lots and lots of tea and cake and dogs and children running around, which is fantastic. Day 4 on the ride, and we've come through Sheffield. We've got Sheffield Children's Hospital in the background over there, and we've got a fantastic event in the park here. We've got some cake and some kids event coming up, and we just had an amazing speech from Captain Tobias. I'll see if I can find a video and post that somewhere. So yeah, today is from Chesterfield all the way up to Harrogate. So once we've finished eating tea and cake, it sounds like that's all we do, isn't it? We'll be blasting up to Harrogate, which is going to be a tough day, very hilly. So great stuff, everyone. Day 4, we're here in the lovely Harrogate, which is a great place as it turns out. We had a really hard day today riding through the Yorkshire Hills. It was as hard as we thought it was going to be, and I really felt it today. My legs were burning. I had to be looked after a bit by the rest of the team that helped me through the hills, because I think 4 days in it was starting to burn a bit. But we really bring it to light the terrible impacts that air pollution has on children, and the people that need to listen are starting to listen, and hopefully they will make the changes, and put things in place so we can make, the ride can have a great legacy. Really, that's I guess the point. So so far I think it's been really positive, and I'm really pleased with and thankful for all the people that have supported us as well, and that the right people are starting to listen. So I guess that's my halfway point little message. And tomorrow we go to Newcastle, a whopping day, 85 miles all the way up, and it's supposed to rain. So let's see how that goes. All right, see you later. So we're on day 5. We've got Jenny in the back there. We're just cycling over the Tyne in the middle of Newcastle. It's been a pretty good day, hasn't it, Jenny?
Amazing day.
Yeah, right. Let's go to the hotel now. See you later. So here we are, start of day 6 now. We're in Newcastle. We've got a fantastic event going on here at the hospital in Newcastle. It's quite early. It's raining. It's cold. We've got almost 80 miles to ride, I think it is today, and Carlisle looks slightly underwater at the moment. So it's going to be a really tough day, but we're all very pumped. And as you can see, we've got some fun mascots in the background here to get us firing in the morning. But again, it's wonderful to see great turnout from all the staff here at the Trust to support us and give us some food before we head off. So yeah, wonderful to see, because ultimately, like I said, that's the whole point of this message, is trying to get healthcare professionals involved and to spread the word as much as possible. So better get cracking and try to not get too cold and wet today. Right, see you later. Halfway through day 6, on the way to Carlisle. First thing, morning of day 7, we are in Carlisle. We had a really rough afternoon yesterday. The weather came in and the wind picked up, and it was probably the hardest day. So now we're in our hotel room with lots of wet gear, and it's all quite stinky and rancid. So today we are cycling up to Scotland, which will be a novel experience, crossing the border. My unfortunate roommate and new BFF, Ewan Wallace, over here, is an anaesthetist, easy for me to say, from Glasgow. So I just thought I'd bring him in to talk a little bit about, why he's doing it and why he thinks this ride is important. So, floor's yours, Ewan.
Thanks, Phil. Well, I suppose the reason we're doing the ride is to highlight the impact of air pollution on child health. Air pollution is a driver for climate change, but it's also a driver for poor health, particularly impacting children, and particularly impacting under 5s, and also causing a higher rate of prematurity. To say, the other thing that we were hoping to accomplish in this ride is to meet as medical professionals, which we have done, all enthusiastic, all driving for the same purpose. And hopefully the legacy of this is that it will form action that will drive forward more sustainable change in the future.
Spot on, fantastic. So where, I can never pronounce it, so where are we cycling to today? Les Mahago?
No, we're cycling to Les Mahago.
It's close, isn't it? Day 7, only a bit to go. And we're up in wonderful Scotland, where it's glorious. We're in Les Mahago. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. which is and we're staying in an ashram, a Krishna ashram, which is pretty fitting for our last night. It's pretty wonderful here up in the Scottish Hills. We had a really nice sort of penultimate day because tomorrow, about 40 miles out of Glasgow, so tomorrow we've sort of meander through and then drop down into Glasgow into COP. So we're cycling to COP tomorrow. That'll be a fun experience. But I have no idea what emotions will be like when I turn up there. We're all quite tired. It's going to be quite special to do that. But yeah, at this point it's been a really special bike ride and really excited about what's going to happen tomorrow and in the future. So yeah, tomorrow COP. To COP. It's Sunday afternoon, so you got some pollution pods in the background and then lots of people over there giving speeches and stuff. We arrived to a Scottish Samba band, which is pretty great. So yeah, we've made it all. So probably do a little recap a bit later, but for now I've got to try and get changed, set out my cycling gear for forever, I hope, and head to the train station. So yeah, catch you all later. So I made it back from COP safe and sound, got the train back last night, arrived late last night. It's strange to be home and not cycling, but it's absolutely lashing it down outside, so I'm secretly pretty pleased I'm not. But yeah, we'll keep that quiet. It was an absolutely fantastic experience the whole week, as you've probably come across in the videos I've made. It's been truly life-changing, inspirational for me. And yeah, I'm so thankful I was involved and I agreed to do this rather mad thing. But yeah, it's been wonderful. So it shows that the Children's Hospital is committed to this journey of looking at the link between climate change and children's health and doing something about it, which is really what the ride's all about. And I know if we didn't have that support from the board, it falls flat on its face. Basically, this journey would not have worked so well. So I'm hoping that me doing this crazy thing of cycling from London to Glasgow has shown that things are possible, and inspired people to make that little change in their life, whether it's walking and cycling with their kids to school, or walking, cycling to the shops rather than driving, commuting differently, something like that. Just making that little change, which then can have a huge knock-on effect. You might not realise it, but action inspires action. So me doing this has maybe inspired you to do something, which could then, you walk to school, it might inspire another parent to go, hey, they walk to school, I'm going to try that, or a neighbour or something like that. So yeah, that's really what I'm hoping comes out of this. But it's been such good fun, and I really hope that happens. And again, sort of the whole basis of this ride was that as healthcare professionals, we are in a unique position. We're responsible people, or me less so, but sort of respected people, trusted voices. So that sort of works in a number of ways. One, we interact with people, our doctors and nurses. You interact with a huge range of people daily, and you can talk to them about climate change and the impact that has on their health. So from things like diets to sustainable travel, being more active, things like that. And ultimately, I think the thing that really gets to me is that we deliver world-class care at Sheffield Children's Hospital. There's no question there, but we deliver this care. We look after our children, and then we discharge them out of the hospital into, breathing in air outside of the hospital that we know is at a harmful level to them. So they're sort of coming into a hospital and leaving our hospital, breathing air that's at a harmful level, and that doesn't seem quite right. So, we need to look at how we can influence that in Sheffield. We're not solely responsible for the traffic and air pollution in Sheffield, but we do have a position to try and influence and do something about that. So for now, thank you ever so much. You've been wonderful, and I'll speak to you all soon. All right, bye.